Most people think billionaires are just like us, only with bigger houses and faster cars. That is a lie. In fact, the way you view money is exactly what keeps you from having it. Did you know that some of the richest people on earth technically have $0 in their bank accounts? It sounds impossible, right? But the truth behind this will shock you. While you are working hard to save every penny, the ultra-wealthy are doing the exact opposite. They aren't saving money. They are escaping it. In this video, we are peeling back the curtain on the hidden world of the 0.001%. I'm going to reveal the 3 biggest secrets they hope you never find out. Why they never pay for anything, even their private jets. The wealth ghost method they use to stay invisible to the taxman. Why having a high salary is actually a trap for the middle class. They are effectively printing their own spending money using the value of what they own. This is why the rich get richer even when the stock market is flat. They aren't waiting for a payday, they are living off the potential of their wealth. But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear this. Second major revelation, the invisible company. Now that you know these secrets, the world probably looks a little different. You realize that the financial advice given to the average person is designed to keep the vending machine running. This matters to you because you can start using these rules on a smaller scale. You might not be able to buy a $50 million jet, but you can stop focusing on just a salary. You can start focusing on assets. The future of wealth isn't about who has the most cash. It's about who has the most automated value. We are moving into an era where artificial intelligence and automation will make this gap even wider. If you only trade your time for money, you are at risk. If you own a platform, even a small one like a YouTube channel, a blog, or a small business, you are moving into the billionaire's playbook.
Let me show you exactly how this happened. Setup and context, the 2 different worlds. To understand the secret world of wealth, we first have to talk about how you were taught to think. Since you were a kid, you were likely told a specific story. Go to school, get a good job, work hard, and save money in a 401k or a savings account. Here is the first mini surprise. The bank is using your savings to get rich while you get poorer. Every day your money sits in a regular bank account, it actually loses value because of inflation. While you're happy with 1% interest, the bank is lending your money out to others at 7%, 10%, or even 20%. They are playing a different game with your pieces. Billionaires don't save. They position. Think about the main characters in this world. People like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. You see headlines saying they made $10 billion in one day. Do you think they saw a deposit for $10 billion in their checking account? No. If they tried to spend that much cash, the economy would shake. The reason this matters right now is that the gap between the rich and everyone else is growing faster than ever. It's not because they are working 1,000 times harder than you. It's because they use a system of wealth architecture. They don't see money as paper. They see it as a tool, like a hammer or a saw. Here is another surprise. Many billionaires live on a salary of $1 a year. Why would a man worth $100 billion accept a $1 paycheck? Because income is a trap. Income is taxed. Assets are protected. Now here's where things get really interesting. First major revelation. The buy, borrow, die. Strategy. 700 to 1,200 words. This is the most accessible, shocking fact about the ultra-rich. They never spend their own money. Imagine you want to buy a $10 million mansion. If you use your own money, you have to earn about $20 million first, because the government will take nearly half in taxes. Then you spend the remaining $10 million. Now you have a house, but your cash is gone. The billionaire does something totally different. This is called buy, borrow, die. Step 1. Buy. They buy assets that grow in value, like stocks or real estate. Step 2. Borrow. Instead of selling their stock to buy the mansion, They go to a bank. They say, "I have $100 million in stock. Lend me $10 million at a very low interest rate." Step 3. Die. They keep doing this until they pass away, passing the assets to their heirs under special rules that wipe out the taxes. Because a loan is not income, the billionaire pays zero taxes on that $10 million. They get the mansion, they keep their stocks, and the bank is happy because they get a little bit of interest. Think about your own life. You're taught that debt is bad. You're told to pay off your credit cards and stay out of the red. But for a billionaire, debt is a superpower. It is a tax-free way to live a luxury lifestyle. While you're struggling to pay 30% of your paycheck to the government, the billionaire is taking out a loan at 3% interest and using it to buy a yacht. They are effectively printing their own spending money using the value of what they own. This is why the rich get richer even when the stock market is flat.
The biggest secret isn't about banks, taxes, or company. It's about how they view time versus money. Most people trade time for money. If you work 40 hours, you get paid for 40 hours. This is a linear life. But billionaires have figured out how to disconnect their income from their time. They build systems that work while they sleep. But here is the real kicker, the climax revelation: billionaires don't compete, they own the platform. Think about it. If you want to sell a product, you sell it on Amazon. If you want to run an ad, you pay Google. If you want to communicate, you use a smartphone with software owned by a giant corporation. You are playing a game on their field. Every time you move, they take a small tax or fee. The ultimate secret is that billionaires aren't trying to sell you a product, they are trying to own the infrastructure of your life. They want to be the middleman for everything you do. When they own the platform, they don't have to be right about the next big trend. They just have to wait for you to work hard on their platform so they can take their cut. This changes everything because it means wealth isn't about having more. It's about controlling the flow. They have turned the entire world into a giant vending machine where they own the machine, the snacks, and the electricity running it. While you are trying to figure out which snack to buy, they are collecting the coins from the back of the machine. This is why they don't care about market crashes as much as you do. If the market crashes, people still need the platform. They still need food, power, and communication. The billionaire stays at the center of the web. So what does all this mean for us today? Implications and analysis, the new rules of the game. Now that you know these secrets, the world probably looks a little different. You realize that the financial advice given to the average person is designed to keep the vending machine running. This matters to you because you can start using these rules on a smaller scale. You might not be able to buy a $50 million jet, but you can stop focusing on just a salary. You can start focusing on assets. The future of wealth isn't about who has the most cash. It's about who has the most automated value. We are moving into an era where artificial intelligence and automation will make this gap even wider. If you only trade your time for money, you are at risk. If you own a platform, even a small one like a YouTube channel, a blog, or a small business, you are moving into the billionaire's playbook. The lesson here is scalability. A billionaire never does anything that can't be multiplied by 1,000. If they start a business, it has to be able to grow without them. You need to ask yourself, is my income tied to my physical presence? If the answer is yes, you are stuck in the middle-class trap. To break free, you have to start thinking like a wealth architect. You have to build systems, use smart debt, and protect your assets through legal structures. The broader context is that the social contract is changing. The old way of working for 40 years and retiring is breaking. The billionaires already know this, that's why they are buying up land, data, and technology. They are preparing for a world where jobs are rare, but ownership is everything. Before we wrap up, there's one final thing you need to know. The last and
Final
most
reveal
unexpected
and
fact is
conclusion.
that billionaires
The secret
don't
of
actually
the circle.
compete with each other. On the news, you might see them arguing on social media, but behind the scenes, they are all part of the same circle. They invest in each other's companies. They sit on each other's boards. They lend each other money. The final secret is access. They have access to information before it becomes public. They have access to private deals that you will never see on a stock app. This is the ultimate, unfair advantage. But here is the twist. You can build your own circle. You don't need $1 billion to start. You just need to change who you listen to and how you spend your time. Stop looking at money as something to be spent, and start looking at it as a soldier you send out to fight for you. Everything we talked about today, the buy, borrow, die strategy, the invisible companies, the platforms, and the circles, is available to anyone who is willing to learn the new rules. The secrets aren't actually hidden. They are just ignored by people who are too busy working for a paycheck. Remember the opening? I told you that billionaires have $0 in their bank accounts. Now you know why. They don't need dollars. They own the world that the dollars buy. The game is rigged, but only if you don't know you're playing. Now that you know the secrets, the question is, what are you going to build?